What is good, everybody? This is Charles from Team COG coming at you guys here with a Dogmatica deck profile. So this deck has always been an interest of mine to build because of the lore behind it, the church, all that type of stuff. It's practically based around the church. I'm not a big fan of the rest of the Dogmatica lore that came after. However, I am a huge fan of this type of stuff. The anti-extra deck, and then they got ritual monsters, which is pretty insane. So the deck is really I'm kind of playing the deck. It's probably not the most competitive way to play the deck. However, it's the most fun way I've had. And the deck can compete. I'm not gonna lie, I've tested it quite a bit. There are some few inconsistencies of the deck, which I'll talk about when we get into the profile and stuff like that. But for the most part, the list has performed well. It does what it needs to do, and it's just kind of a fun competitive deck that I feel like you should be able to take to locals and maybe even a higher tier event and do pretty well with. But before I continue on, if you guys want to help support the channel, check the links down in the description below. If you guys enjoy the mat, the sleeves, the hat, you guys can check those out at ImperiumDuelist.com. They actually launched a new Dragon Quest deck box that you guys should check out. Use code TEAMCOG10 to get 10% off there. If you guys are buying any cards on TCG Player, also use that TCG Player affiliate link. Helps out the channel quite a bit. But if you guys want to help directly support the channel, think about becoming a member. And think about, even if you can't support financially, just join the Discord, support us there. That's all I need. And then we host free remote duel tournaments called the Crusader Cups. Get your invites by topping one of those to the big thing where it's all free prizing, all this stuff. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the deck profile. So this is Dogmatica. I'm not going to go over too much stuff, except for there's going to be a new light shined on some things, simply because I haven't seen a lot of people playing a build like this. I think the best one I saw was top tier YuGIOh. I think he has a list kind of like this one. So yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump into it. 3 Ecclesia. She's the best girl. I hate the parallel secrets. I do plan to get ultras or maybe even ultimates. I don't know. This deck is very, I really enjoyed this deck. I feel like I'm going to actually max out this deck slowly but surely. But if you guys don't know what Ecclesia does, on normal summon, it allows you to add a Dogmatica. Normal special adds a Dogmatica card. And then if your opponent controls an extra deck, there's an extra deck monster on the field, period, she can special summon herself. And then she can't be destroyed by battle with an extra deck monster. She's the heart and soul of the deck. That's one thing that the deck really kind of struggles with, is you have this fantastic starter in the form of Ecclesia, but then you have no other good starters. Even Maximus is a good starter, but Maximus needs some sort of extra deck monster in the graveyard. So Maximus just can't do anything by itself. We really need another good starter, in my opinion. I mean, honestly, I could see them probably giving this deck a little bit more ritual support, but nothing else too crazy for sure. But yep, 3 Ecclesia. Since this is pure as it can be, we are on to 3 Maximus here. This card is really actually insane. You end up ripping so many extra deck cards from your opponent's extra deck with this card. It's just, and it gives you so much advantage too. It's truly just kind of a crazy card. It's cracked. You could try playing 2 of it, but I don't recommend it because since like I said, this is pure Dogmatica, as pure as it can get. You need to see your combo pieces, and Maximus and Ecclesia practically do the same thing. In some sense, if you open the same combos, if you open Maximus plus the same combo, you're going to do the same thing you'd open if you opened Ecclesia with the same combo, right? But not really much more can be said. Maximus is awesome. Allows you to, it rips 2 from your opponent's extra deck. It rips 2 from your extra deck, which is fine because you want to send stuff to your extra deck. You get searches and all this type of stuff. But anyway, probably my favorite card in the entire deck is 2 Knighted, Fleur-de-lis. This card is really good, honestly. You play 2 of it. You could argue, again, if you wanted to, you could cut down this stuff if you wanted to fit another engine in. But since we are trying to play as pure Dogmatica as we can, you want to max out on playing more than these because this card is just really good. This card is just solid, man. There's a reason this card was so expensive. It being a walking hand trap is just insane. It's really good. Being able to come out, negate something, and then you have the battle phase boost, which is really good as well. But 2 Knighted, probably my favorite card in the entire deck, to be honest with you. Now, you could potentially, since this is pure Dogmatica, right, for the 3rd time, and you're playing a ritual-esque side of things, you could potentially play the Illusionary Magician, I think, the Ritual Dark Magician that lets you search souls. But those are expensive, and I understand not a lot of people have money for that, so I decided to try this kind of a thematic, lore-friendly engine, which does practically the same thing. And on all the testing I've done, all the times I've bricked on this engine, I put in the different scenarios on where, if I opened the Illusion Magician as well, or the Illusion Magic, or whatever it is, whatever that card is, if I had opened that card instead, would getting to souls fix anything? And almost every time it didn't. So, you can easily get away with playing this. But I am playing 3 Albion and 1 Fallen of Albaz. And the reason you do this is because this is a draw 1 engine. You reveal this, send this to the graveyard, and then if you happen to have it, I couldn't find mine, so I highly recommend playing it. You can play Dogmatica and counter. So you like literally can just go Albion, dump this, put this to the bottom of the deck, draw a card, and then use Ecclesia to search and counter. Then on your opponent's turn, you're able to summon out the Albaz and then contact fuse their stuff away. It's a cool little cheeky play. Not really too much crazy stuff has happened, but if you see Albion, you get the draw, and if you hard open Albaz, you just normally, or you can search Albaz for like the follow-up to push for damage, because Titanclad can become pretty big. It allows to like kind of beat over things. It doesn't come up a lot. Like I said, you really don't use your extra deck really at all, except for making Winda and probably making Titanclad. In all my testing, I've actually made Winda the most, but I've made Titanclad the second. And the 2 Link monsters too. Like you make those quite a bit if you happen to, like Almirage and stuff like that. But this is a little package I played to get a little draw one, and it's came out pretty good. All the times that I've played this card to be the illusion magic, I've never drawn a spells that I wanted to get rid of with the souls, so I feel like this is just freely there. Now, the worst feeling ever is opening 2 Albions, putting one back, then drawing the third. But I mean, it is what it is. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! It's statistics and probability. Not much more can be said. And it's also thematic, I felt like. It's very, fits the theme. It's lore friendly in a way. So if you're like that, I couldn't ask for better, right? So that's it for this little package here. Moving on to the rituals, we're playing 2 White Knight and 1 Relic. And the reason we're doing this ratio here is because these can be pre-prepped, but also White Knight's the best of the 2. It's responsive, whereas like White Relic is not as responsive. But to tell you what these cards do, this card lets you quick effect. When your opponent activates a card effect, you get to send a card from your extra deck, and you get to send a card your choice from their extra deck. He gains attack equal to the combined attack till the end of the turn. So this allows you, this card potentially is a Trident. No matter what, this card's a Trident and a extra deck rip from your opponent. That's insane. This card does 2 things, right? And then if you can't afford and you need to get your engine going, this card then becomes a way to send Titanclad. And then you get to rip an important combo piece from your opponent's extra deck. Relic is not as good as White Knight. However, Relic is still decent in the fact that as soon as you summon special summons from the extra deck, you're able to rip a card of your choice from their extra deck. So like right off the bat, if you even combine, either if you have one of these out already and then you ritual summon the other using one of the ritual spells and you've resolved Maximus, you're going to be able to rip 5 extra deck cards from your opponent by their turn, which means a third of their extra deck is gone. And if you get the choice to rip out 3 of them, so like you get the choice to rip 3 specific extra deck cards, which is really good. But yeah, that's pretty much the game plan. Is to end on like, you want to end on this at the bare minimum, because this, like I said, this can be a Trident, and then you get to end on like Fleur-de-lis in hand, Punishment, you name it. If you end on both of these, then like immediately you get to rip your Trident, extra deck rip, then Fleur-de-lis. But they're pretty cool. And also the Relic has a cool effect that says level 8 or higher Dogmatica monsters while on the field cannot be destroyed by battle, which is pretty cool. It doesn't come up, but it is something to remember. Moving on, I am playing 3 Sangan, and the reason that we play Sangan is Sangan can actually search out your White Relic or your White Knight, search out hand traps. I don't currently have it, but Imperm definitely should be Valor, so like this can search Valor and Ash. And if you open this plus Dogmatica, Virtuous, Dogmatica Ecclesia, I think, should she call Virtuous? Ecclesia the Virtuous, yeah. You just get to like, it allows you to link off into Almirage, so you get immediate search for a hand trap and then like fuel your extra deck stuff by like making a monster monster in the graveyard for Maximus. This card's pretty crazy. Like I said, it can search a lot of things too. You can summon the things you search, right? You just can't use their effects. So I've actually found myself summoning out, ending my board with this, where I've searched out the White Relic, but then when my opponent's turn comes around, a White Relic's live to be able to dump, or not to be able to dump, to be able to rip the extra deck card, which is pretty cool. It's just another normal summon that, that works pretty well. The last monster in the deck is 3 Ash. You could definitely, like I said, with playing Sangan here, you should definitely play Effect Valor. I just couldn't find mine. Along with my encounter, I went through all my stuff and just couldn't find it. I thought I had 3 supers somewhere, but guess I was wrong, right? But anyway, yep, that's what Ash is. Ash is a hand trap, searchable off of Sangan. So like even at the bare minimum, no matter what, like if you just open the worst hand and you just open Ecclesia plus Sangan, you're going to end on 2 disruptions at the bare minimum, because like Ecclesia can search Punishment or Fleur-de-lis, and then Sangan's going to grab you a hand trap. So at the bare minimum, you're able to get for those trades. And since this deck is very like ritualistic, but it's also a very control heavy deck, you want to have like really good trades with your opponent. And cards like Nadir Servant, Punishment, and stuff like that, just those type of trade cards where you go +1 are very needed and are very liked. But speaking of going +1, pre-prep. This you can search Dogmatic Hombre plus White Knight or White Relic with this. My ratio is a little off. I've definitely played testing a little bit more. I want to change up my ratio of ritual spells. Just +1. What more can you say? I mean, this card's actually pretty crazy. 3 triple attacks. You discard, could be 3 of anything you want. I just know that since we're playing more pure, and we're not playing like any sort of like secondary broken engine, you're going to want to have like triple text to be able to draw into more cards and stuff. If you're playing some sort of secondary engine, you probably don't have to play this, but I'm a huge fan of triple text. I think triple text is needed for sure because of the amount of hand traps people are playing. But onto the ritual spells, we play 3, which this should be reversed. They should be 2 Calamity and 1 Combre, I feel like, because like Combre's the worst, but Calamity's the best, but at the same time, Combre's searchable with pre-prep, Calamity is not. So this is like Necross Kaleidoscope. It allows you to send from the extra deck. This card right here allows you to banish monsters, extra deck monsters from your graveyard to fit the level requirement. And you can also ritual summon from the graveyard using this, whereas with this one you cannot. And also this one, if you, on resolution, if you ritual summon and you have both White Knight and White Relic on field, you get to look at your opponent's extra deck and rip a card. That's pretty cool too. These cards are really strong. Like I said, you play Herald of the Arclight in the extra deck, so like free sins just allow you to search stuff like that. Getting the free extra deck look to be able to dump Titanclad throughout your combo if you don't get the chance to send it early, to go ahead and get that in-phase out of Fleur-de-lis is really good. It's insane. Moving on to double Nadir. Nadir is insane. There's a reason this card's semi-limited. I can almost argue this card should probably be banned or at 1, but I would like it at 3. However, Nadir is really good as your search of the deck. It actually works really well with the ritual side of this deck because like you send Herald of the Orange, or not Herald of the Orange, Herald of the Arclight, and you can search out your White Relic or your White Knight, and then you get to be able with the Nadir Servant, and then the Herald lets you grab the Dog Calamity, and then you get to ritual summon out something crazy. I'll show you guys a combo at the end. It's literally Nadir is just a 1-card combo. This deck doesn't have a lot of combos because it's very control-y. It's not wombo combo, but I'll show you like this nutty combo where like Nadir is 1 card that gets you like 3 forms of disruption. It's insane. But anyway, that's it for Nadirs. Moving on, we just have the 1 Called by the Grave. Still don't like hand traps because hand traps are evil. On to the traps. We are on to 3 Dogmatica Punishment, 3 Imperm, and 1 Schism. Punishment is one of those cards that a lot of control decks I think they wish they had, you know. This card is literally, along with like Nadir Servant, everything in this deck like goes plus. You use this, you get to pop a card, send Titanclad, in phase Titanclad gets you a search, or you can go Dog Punishment, send Intis, pop 2 cards. It's really good, and Imperm shouldn't be here. Imperm should probably be Effect Veilers. However, I really like Imperm because like frame 1, you can just smack it down, which is really important in some instances and stuff like that. So, not sure we said Schism because sadly we are playing that little Shaddoll package in the extra deck. It's free real estate there, so might as well play it so that you can add it on window too. Always remember Shaddoll Schism second effects. All I gotta say is that you get to send a monster of the same attribute of what you summon. Onto the extra deck, the most important thing in the entire deck, which oddly it is, but you don't use it in the sense that you will. But we play 3 Titanclad. Titanclad, you do send almost all 3 all the time. However, I've caught myself, believe it or not, I've sent 2 and then summoned 1. And Titanclad is actually it's a beater, right? It's pretty cool. And also, like, just the lore-wise, like, this entire deck just functions so well together. But triple Titanclad, I'll show you the Shaddoll package that we are playing here. A little bit out of order, which is strange, but we're playing 1 Window, 1 Construct, and 1 Acapone. I mean, this is pretty much self-explanatory. You send Acapone to add Schism, then you can send Construct to add back Schism, or send with Acapone, so like you don't have to discard anything, because then you can go like Acapone 2, Shaddoll 1, Acapone, add Schism, pitch the Schism off for Acapone, Construct, add back Schism, and then Window is because you want to window on your opponent's turn. We are a control deck, so we want to control the speed of the game. And then we are on to triple Herald of the Arclight. Since this is a ritual variant, it's pretty easy to say what to play. You play 3 Herald because you can use it to search out for any of your 3 ritual spells, to search out for any of your 3 ritual monsters. And yeah, the fact that Dogmatic Combre summons from the graveyard too is important because when you go Al Capone, I know I say that, but you can add, your White Knight with Herald, and then Al Capone lets you add the White Knight. You can end up sending the White Knight for the effect of that to keep the Schism in hand, then use Combre to bring back the White Knight from the graveyard. It's pretty cool. But yep, 3 Herald, not much more can be said there. 3 Intis, you play 3. I saw some people playing 2, but I play 3 simply because we are wanting to send it with the White Knight here, because a quick effect Drident's really cool. And also sometimes, like going second, you need to just go fire off Nadir Servant, send Intis, pop a card, beta negate, search of Ecclesia. Pretty cool. But definitely play 3 because you'll find yourself sending one with Maximus, sending one with the White Knight. possibly sending 2 with the White Knight before it's all said and done. So like you just cannot run out. You cannot play enough Intis, pretty much, is what I'm trying to say. For the final 2 cards, we are onto the 2 links here. Almirage for the Sangan, and also that's something else. Any of your hand traps, if you played Effect Veiler 2, could go into this line here, which if you open any hand trap, Sangan, hand trap, along with Maximus as combo, because like that allows you to get the extra deck to the graveyard. So that's just technically 14 cards. For the 15th card, I honestly recommend playing a second Almirage, or maybe play Omega if you want to. That second Almirage, because like, so if you open multiple Sangans, you're going to be able to go like Sangan into like another, and then you get like a hand trap search to be able to like stall out the game so that you can potentially gain momentum again in case you get blown out, you know. But that's it for the extra deck. Like I said, pretty self-explanatory. This is it for the main deck. I think it's 40 cards. The deck is really fun. Like, honestly, I didn't think I was going to have too much fun playing it. It's not the ritual deck that I want to play. That's why I have like a ritual deck that I just bought that's on the way to be able to test and play again. However, the deck, like literally, if you can't get access to like the ritual stuff, it's okay, because the Dogmatica engine functions so independently, if that makes sense, that literally Ecclesia, the entire standard Dogmatica stuff can carry you the whole way. The ritual stuff is just additional advantage and stuff like that. Other than that, the deck's really consistent. It does have some inconsistencies, as all decks do. You are playing a lot of high-level monsters, like the rituals are bricks of their sense. You know, they don't do anything. Albions are, but Albions would also be more rituals that would brick you as well. The same Fleur-de-lis and Maximus, they're all bricks unless you like get them to work with each other. Ecclesia is the best normal summon we have. So like the deck does have some inconsistencies, but I mean like all decks do, right? So, but anyway, guys, that is it for the profile. Please, if you want to see like a test hand or something like that, comment down below. If you want to see how this deck actually works and what full combo with this deck is, let me know as well, because if you guys checked some of my videos, I was really hyped for Dogmatica coming out a long time ago, that I did a video showing Nadir Servant and showing like what one Nadir can do, and I'll probably showcase that as well in a video, just showing you guys some like test hands and combos that this deck can do. But anyway, guys, most importantly, please remember, if you guys want to stay safe, click that subscribe button, because clicking that subscribe button will keep you safe from all harm and foul. But most importantly, just for you guys, stay safe, stay healthy. This is Charles from Team COG, signing out.